That is where you open yourself to criticism, because people have said, do you remember Amissah Arthur and the 100+ questions? Yeah. Did he know then that Amissah Arthur also was in a position where he was only an advisor and couldn't, impact the economy, couldn't determine what Finance Minister Seth Terkper would do? Was he aware of that when he was coming up with those questions and lampooning the former Vice President, who today has met his maker? Was he aware of that?
Yeah, you see, the Vice President was aware of that, and the Vice President is even equally aware of that now, that if Tiah Mahama should bring him 150, 170 questions on the economy to answer on behalf of the President, he will have to answer. Okay. If the running mate or even former President, whosoever brings 200 questions on the economy and is asking him to answer, he would answer. So even as a government spokesperson or someone supporting or advisor to the government or to the Vice President, if you ask me such questions, it is only fair and proper that I account and provide answers to the best of my ability. So it will not have to take me to be the Vice President or be the President himself to answer such questions. So the Vice President asking the then Vice President of blessed memory, Amissah Arthur, to answer those questions was not to suggest that Amissah Arthur had final and ultimate responsibility for how the economy was run. The economy always stopped with Mr. John Mahama.
It honestly didn't stop. It honestly didn't sound that way then. He made it appear as though, because everyone knew, let's face the facts. You can go back. Team, we can go back and look at some of these speeches by the former president, and maybe if we find some of them, we can play them. He doesn't sound in them like because back then, yes, they would say incompetent Mahama and everything, but it was accepted that Mahama wasn't an economist, right? So it was Amissah Arthur who was literally lampooned. Of course, he had been governor at the central bank, the Bank of Ghana, which is why I'm focusing on this angle, because it can't be different strokes for different folks. You can't say one thing in one breath and something else in another breath. So if it was good for Amissah Arthur, what's good for the goose must be good for Dr. Bawumia, maybe the gander.
You see, the fact that Dr. Bawumia has also been lampooned, he has also been attacked on the economy. One thing is attacking the Vice President and asking him to provide explanation and putting blame or placing responsibility on him. These are two different things. You are blaming Dr. Bawumia because he's part of the economic management team and he's part of government. You are blaming Dr. Bawumia because he's an economist and he ought to have provided advice. You are blaming him because you feel that his advice...
him because he touted himself and was touted by the president. He touted himself and was touted by the president. Recently, I had here in the studio Paul Grave-Wachidankwa, your spokesperson on governance and security. He said Bawumia was the best economist in the world, past, present, So, of course, if he's the best economist in the world with where we are as an economy, would you be happy?
I'm clearly happy with the role, the contribution of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as an economist to the fortunes of the country. I'm very happy.
All right, let me...